All right, I'm going to be going through this problem today. This is actually from LeetCode, which is another one of those websites that allows you to practice Python problems. Going through 169 majority element, just one I kind of chose randomly. Given an array of nums of size n, return the majority element. The majority element is the element that appears more than n divided by 2 times. You may assume that the majority element always exists in the array. So they give us a couple example test cases. Nums is equal to 3, 2, 3. And then we should return 3 because 3 is the majority element. Then we have nums equals 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. And we return 2 because 2 is the majority element. I'm going to be doing this in Python because that is my language of choice, Python 3 actually. So cool. I like to do these in Jupyter notebooks just to test out. So that's what I'm going to be doing here is nums. And we want to return the majority element. So I'm going to start out by writing some pseudocode. This is just kind of the steps I'm going to be doing to complete this task. And I'm not going to really focus on that code. I'm just going to focus on the steps here. The pseudocode. Step 1, I want to iterate through each number, iterate through nums. Step 2, check if nums, if I've seen the number before. So when I'm iterating through each number in nums, I'm going to check if I've seen it before. And if I've seen it before, I'm going to call it step 2a. If I've seen before, and then I want to, this is kind of getting into a little bit of code, but add 1 to count. Step 2b, if I've not seen before, make count equals 1. So a little bit of programming there, but kind of the idea. And then I guess step 3 is going to be, what's the formula for a majority? Find which number has count more than n divided by 2 times, greater than n divided by 2. And where n is the length of nums. So that's my pseudocode. I might be adding more to it. Might not even follow it completely, but that's kind of how I'm going to start. I want to iterate through each number in nums. And then step 2, if I check if I've seen that number before. If I've seen that number before, add 1 to the count. If I have not seen that number before, make count equal to 1. And then step 3, find which number has count greater than n divided by 2. So step 1, iterate through nums for number in nums. I'm going to use a for loop here because I have a list, and that's for loops are great for iterating through lists. So I'm just going to kind of go through and print out number just so we can see it. 3, 2, 3. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So cool. And then check if I've seen this number before. I'm going to be storing, if I want to check if I've seen a number before, I need to store the results of all the numbers that I've seen. And I was kind of thinking about this a little bit as I was writing this out. I think I want to store this as a dictionary because that way I can store the counts. So I can store the number that it is as the key, and then the count, the number of times I've seen that number as the value. So I'm going to call this number dict. And then maybe, so if, so now I'm going to move on to 2a. If I've seen the number before, if number in number dict, add 1 to the count. This would be number dict number plus equals 1. So what this is doing is it's grabbing the from the number dict, it's grabbing the, I'm looking up a instance by the number, and then I'm adding 1 to the value. And then else number dict number equals 1. And what this is doing is if it's not in number dict, then it's going to add the key to the number dict and then set the value to be equal to 1. So if we run this, let's take a look at number dict. I think it's good to kind of think about what you're expecting. So I expect to see number dict to have a key of 3 and have a value of 2 because there's 2 3s in this. And I expect there to be a key of 2 and it to show up once. So a value of 1. If we did it right, we should see that. And that makes sense. So 3 shows up 2 times, 2 shows up 1 time. Now, trying to think of the best way to do this. I guess like I could iterate through. So I'm on step 3, find which number has the count of n divided by 2. So I might break this into multiple steps here as well. Step 3a, iterate through number dict. Step 3b, if number in number dict has value greater than n divided by 2, return that number. So iterating through a dictionary. Yeah, so there's several ways to do it, but I'm going to do for num in number dict dot keys. So this is going to iterate through all the keys of the dictionary. I'm going to print out number dict above this so we can take a look at it. And to get the values, it'll be number dict square bracket num. So that gets our the values from each of the dictionaries. So if number dict square bracket num is greater than length of nums divided by 2, print num. And we see we get 3, which I believe is the correct answer. Let's try it with this example and see if it works. And we get the right answer again. So let's put this all in a single cell and we can see how long it takes to run. And if I hit this, I actually want to do a break statement so it doesn't keep iterating through the for loop. But let's time how long this takes to run. So this is time it. And I have print statements in here, so it prints out 2 a bunch of times. But this took 161 microseconds to run, and it ran, what is that, 7 runs, 10,000 loops each time. So 70,000 times it ran it. And on average, took 161 microseconds. I wanted to compare that because I have 2 for loops here, and 2 for loops not always ideal. So I want to see if I can get this down to a single for loop. Yeah, so I'm just going to copy this over. So what if instead of checking whether this is meets this condition in another for loop, what if I checked it inside of here? So as I'm going through this and updating this number dict, what I should do is check to see if this condition is being met in here. Oops, I want this. So if number dict number UNBEO, and hopefully this will work. Print number. We still get 2. And I also want to run a break statement. So let's run this again and time it. So what this is doing is this if statement is if the number is in number dict, then we're going to add 1 to the value. If else, if the number dict is not in there, then we're going to set it equal to 1. And then this is finally checking that condition. And this ran a lot more times. And that's because I put my break statement in the wrong spot. I want my break statement inside of here. Yeah, so that way we're actually still printing it out. And scroll to the bottom of this thing. And it took about the same amount of time, which is always fun. 162 microseconds versus 161 microseconds. My guess is that these loops are relatively small, so doesn't take a whole lot of time to loop through it a couple times. But my guess is as these loops increase, that this one would be a little bit more efficient. So what do they want us to do? They want us to put this as a method inside of a class. So let's do that. So bring this all in. What do we need to change? We need to remove the break statement. Since this is a method inside of a class, I can just put a return statement. Once it hits this return statement, it's going to stop everything. List is not defined. Why is that not working? Type hinting Python list. Right, that's what I need. So this is called type hinting. It tells you that nums is a list of integers, and we need to import that. So let's try running this element. I'm just kind of curious if it runs, and plug in nums. So cool. Let's try running it in LeetCode and see if it works. So run. I tested these 2 test cases and passed both of them. So let's see if it runs on everything now. Cool. So yeah. So it ran. We see accepted. So this is my solution. There's other ways to attack this problem, but this is my initial approach. Let me know if you have a different way of going about this problem. That's it.